Hello again, this is CoreTV News on the Hour with Nifemi Oguntoye. One of Nigeria's leading opposition figures, Muhammadu Buhari, on Wednesday declared his intention to run for the presidency on the platform of the All Progressives Congress. In a brief speech at the Eagle Square in Abuja, Buhari promised to tackle the lingering insurgency, create jobs for the youths, improve power supply and tackle corruption in all levels. He also implored party members to give him the support during the APC's elective convention to enable him fulfill his promise to Nigerians. At least 4 state governors, including Babatunde Fashola, Rotimi Amechi and Adams Oshomole, showed up at the declaration. Paul Samuel has the details.
It looks like a football match is about to take place here. But this is a political gathering for Muhammadu Buhari to declare his ambition to be the man to again challenge President Goodluck Jonathan. Group after group danced their hearts out in support of the former head of state. 4 state governors attended the event. And speaking on behalf of his colleagues, Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi says the ruling party has not lived up to expectation. This, according to him, is why APC has come as an alternative to take Nigeria to the promised land.
APC provides an alternative for the country. We are tested, and we will never disappoint Nigeria. For us as APC, we will line up behind the party. Go back home now and get your voters. Go back home and do what? Go back home and do what? Get your voters card.
And when it was time for the general to make his declaration, the atmosphere around the venue changed. Now, the general is set to make a formal declaration. Bothered about the state of the nation, Buhari says he will wipe out corruption, tackle insurgency, and create jobs for the youths.
We in APC are resolved to bring change to Nigeria. We plan to do things differently. We plan to put priority on 1, protection of lives and property. 2, pursuing economic policies for shared prosperity and immediate attention on youth employment. Quality education for development, modernity, and social mobility. Fourthly, agricultural productivity for taking millions out of poverty and ensuring food security.
But the former head of state knows that he has a battle on his hand to get his party's nod for next year's presidential election. And he didn't hesitate to seek the support of delegates to APC's convention. The former military head of state, General Muhammadu Buhari, has just declared his intention to run for the presidential primaries under the All Progressives Congress. For now, 2 candidates have indicated interest to run for the presidential primaries, talking about Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and now joining the race is Alhaji Muhammadu Buhari. For now, political watchers will only wait and see what the results of the presidential primaries in the APC will be. And for who will emerge the presidential candidates, only time will tell. Paul Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, the presidency insists that President Goodluck Jonathan will be seeking re-election in 2015, contrary to what online reports of a 10-year allegation plan. He also does not seem bothered by former head of state Muhammadu Buhari may pose a threat to the president's second-term ambition. Senior Special Assistant of the President and Public Affairs Doyin Okupe told State House correspondents that his principal is prepared to contest against those it described as serial failures.
That when you have a sitting president and he is interested in a rerun, usually he's given the first right and the first choice of refusal. And the president is here to make public his desire. But this news from Sahara reporters is absolutely untrue. It is falsehood, and we deny it in all its entirety. It is aimed at, is part of the calculated attempt by the opposition to try and throw everything into the arena to embarrass this president. They've done this for the past 4 years. It has not worked. It has not deterred him. He has remained, focused. He has kept his eye on the ball, and the transformation agenda to the glory of God has become a grand success. Their declaration, our participation, is not a threat to us. They have never won elections before. Somebody who has contested 4 times and failed 4 times, now, I mean, for instance, what is Buhari going to tell Nigerians now? What's the new thing? He was the former head of state, a military head of state, but that's all he has done. But since then and now, what is the new thing he has acquired? What is the new thing, the new story? You cannot compare I will do with I have done. It's not possible.
The Federal Executive Council has held a valedictory session for 7 ministers who are eyeing governorship positions in their respective states. At the session, President Goodluck Jonathan read out the names of the ministers he expects to leave the cabinet before his October 20 deadline, even though none of them has turned in their resignation letters. He explained that the cabinet members, led by Information Minister Labaran Mako, have all informally indicated their intention to seek governorship seats. We'll bring you details of that report subsequently. President Goodluck Jonathan has also frowned at the poor working relations between some ministers and permanent secretaries in the Federal Civil Service. He advised the officials to close ranks in order for the government to function properly. The president noted that the complaints of cold relationship between the political and administrative heads of ministries, agencies and departments were too many to be ignored. Jonathan spoke while swearing in 6 new federal permanent secretaries before the commencement of the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting.
Listening to your brief citations, definitely you've passed through the training process, and we believe very sincerely that you will do a very good job for the country. I think the key thing that will get worried about the civil service and government generally is the issue of discipline and impunity. These days, you hardly see a permanent secretary querying a director, or a director querying a assistant director, or assistant director querying a principal officer, or a principal officer querying a senior officers or officers. And in a system where there is no discipline, definitely you cannot get the best output. You can't assume that everybody will do the right thing. Filtration passes through a process, and we must be able to bring discipline to bear in the service if we must give our country the best. One of the other things is the ability of PAMSECs working with their ministers. Lately, we've received too many complaints about cold relationship between permanent secretaries and ministers. If permanent secretaries don't work with the ministers, ministers don't work with the permanent secretaries, there's no way we can do what we're expected to do.
Nigerian women have been charged to vie for political posts and stand as agents of peace and national development ahead of the 2015 elections. Wife of the president, Patience Jonathan, gave the charge at the distribution of empowerment materials and commissioning of Women for Change and Development Initiative Secretariat in Ibadan, Oyo State. Omotayo Alo has more.
The Lake and Salami Stadium in Ibadan was filled to capacity with women in high attendance, as they are the major beneficiaries of the empowerment materials. In addition to over 300 women from 33 local governments that benefited, 4 tertiary institutions were also given bursaries. The president's wife also enjoined women to be instruments of change and be the backbone of support for their family by making good use of the empowerment materials.
Registration is at the door. Come out in mass and register. And vote yourself, women. Don't put another woman down. Love one another. Be united. Women, be agents of peace. Around you there should be peace. Your watchword should be peace, 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 peace. Your song should be peace. Wherever you are, peace. I have told you I'm Mama Peace.
Wife of the Oyo State Governor, Florence Ajimobi, attested to the power of women in nation building while appreciating the president's wife for her kind gesture.
For us in Oyo State today, the concept of empowerment involves emotional and psychological empowerment, as well as physical and health empowerment, in addition to financial empowerment, in order to foster an all-round and well-balanced development of our women.
For the convener of the event, Olajumoke Akinjide, every government must henceforth see the need to give women a seat at the table of governance and economic activity in a bid to develop the nation.
In the society at large, through the Women for Change and Development Initiative, Your Excellency continues to raise awareness among every strata of Nigerian society of the need for gender parity, gender mainstreaming, and women empowerment.
These beneficiaries say they would put to good use the empowerment materials and reignite their participation in Nigerian politics.
We are very, very happy today. The way the mama did to us, we are very, very happy, because to buy this fertilizer before is very, very difficult for us. But now, we know we will enjoy her till 2015.
All our women will benefit from this empowerment, and they will use it wisely. And we are praying for our mama patients, Ebere, Jonathan, and our able minister, Olajumoke Akinjide, for giving us this opportunity on this occasion. We are very, very happy.
President's wife also offered a cash gift to some women at the occasion, which threw them into wide jubilation. Even though organizers of the event deny its political undertone, its timing leaves very little doubt on the minds of political observers that the countdown to the politics of stomach infrastructure ahead of the 2015 election has started. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Ibadan.
The Adamawa State Governor, Bala James Ngilari, has sworn in the newly appointed Secretary to the State Government, Ibrahim Anjewelye, alongside the Acting Auditor General of the state. The ceremony, which was conducted by the Acting Chief Judge Ishaya Badu, attracted top government functionaries.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will be faithful.
That I will be faithful.
And bear true allegiance.
And bear true allegiance.
To the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
To the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And that I will preserve.
And that I will preserve.
Protect.
Protect.
And defend the Constitution.
And defend the Constitution.
Of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
1999 as amended.
1999 as amended.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ngilari says the newly sworn-in stood by him through thick and thin, and that they deserve the appointment because they are proven professionals.
They are not only Adamawa State citizens, but they are Adamawa State citizens of whom we can always be proud at any time. I just pick for the heck of it. There are people I've known for quite some time now, particularly since I came here. They are men of character, integrity, and excellence. I've no doubt in my mind that each and every one of them deserve.
In his response, the new Secretary to the State Government says the governor has shown so much confidence in their ability to deliver and promised to do everything possible to move the state forward.
He has a lot of faith in us, and that is what I'm afraid of. He believes that we can perform. For that, I will only say, may God help us to perform. His Excellency has a passion, a great passion for changing the lot of the people of Adamawa State.
You're on to CoreTV News on the hour. We'll take a break now, and I'll be back with more stories. Stay with us.
Der Torschütze zum zwischenzeitlichen 1:1. Semenike schickt Musa, da ist Ahmed Musa! Und da ist der Ausgleich!
It's a beautiful Saturday evening in the city of Lagos.
Off the turn, Phelps had it, but then Matsui kept going.
Finals. 5 to shoot. Leonard does.
And of course, we did for all of us here from all of the few things I want to pleasure.
Welcome back. You can also reach us on our social media platform on Facebook. It's facebook.com/CoreTV News, and our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG, as well as on YouTube. It's youtube.com/CoreTV News NG. Moving on the news, the House of Representatives has endorsed 70 new amendments to the 1999 Constitution. This was after the conference report of a joint committee of the Senate and the House of Representatives was tabled for adoption. The motion was moved by Deputy Speaker Emeka Ihedioha, who doubles as the Chairman House Committee on Constitution Review, and unanimously adopted by the lawmakers. Out of the 261 members present in the chambers, 252 voted to adopt the report. 8 voted against, while 1 member abstained. Speaker Aminu Tambuwal, who presided over the session, observed that the House had met the constitutional requirement of 2/3 majority of members needed to amend the Constitution. Nigerian authorities plan to honor soldiers involved in the ongoing war against insurgency at next year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebrations. Defense Minister Aliyu Gusau, who disclosed this at a news conference in Abuja, said it would be a special one because it coincided with the country's greatest security challenges in recent times. He explained that it would also provide an opportunity to reflect on the sacrifices made by military personnel for peace in the country.
Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration 2015 with the theme Appreciating the Nigerian Armed Forces is a special one because it coincides with Nigeria's greatest security challenges in recent times. It is therefore appropriate to specially appreciate the commitment of our personnel that are paying the supreme price in confronting our security challenges so that we can live in peace. The contribution of the officers, men and the women of the armed forces towards the return of peace to troubled spots in our country cannot be overemphasized. The nation remains eternally grateful to these gallant Nigerians. The Remembrance Day period is therefore time to reach out to the loved ones the fallen heroes have left behind and those who have been incapacitated in order to contribute toward rehabilitating them. The federal government of Nigeria looks forward to our dear citizens in both public and the private sectors to appreciate the courage and the patriotism of these service personnel and support them generously.
The World Bank has tasked the federal government to increase its fiscal buffers by raising the excess crude account from $4.1 billion to $6.3 billion. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, made this disclosure at the end of the 2014 annual meeting in Washington, D.C. She said federal government is looking on how to strengthen the buffers. One of them is to get resources, which the government is now planning to do, Other options are revenue plans, which the Federal Inland Revenue Services backed by the McKinsey to help to strengthen capacity to improve audits and plug leakages by targeting 75 billion naira. Although 44 billion naira was realized in July, the other is expenditure plans. However, with the uncertainty of the global economy and the drop in global oil price, the economy is expected to grow at 3.8% in 2015. We'll take another break now, and I'll be back with stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. And Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Thanks for joining us again. U.S. health officials are seeking 132 people who flew on a plane with a Texas nurse on the day she came down with symptoms of Ebola. The nurse, second person down to catch Ebola in the United States, became ill on Tuesday. Both she and nurse Nina Pham, aged 26, had treated Liberian Thomas Eric Duncan, who died on 8 October in Dallas. Meanwhile, the UN's Ebola mission chief says the world has fallen behind in the race to contain the virus, which has killed more than 4,000 in West Africa. On Wednesday, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, said it wanted to interview the passengers on Frontier Airlines Flight 1143 from Cleveland, Ohio to Dallas, Texas on 13 October. It said it was taking the measure because of the proximity in time between the evening flight and first report of illness the following morning. And that wraps it this hour on CoreTV News. Coming up next is Core Digest. Don't miss it.